The Balkans, a region located in the southeast of Europe filled with footballing passion and world-class talent. Luka Modric, Hristo Stoichkov, Gheorghe, Hagi. These are only some of the few legendary names that came out of the Balkans, and today we'll be uncovering some more superstars as we take on the ultimate Balkan rebuild challenge, where our starting 11 will eventually consist of 11 of the 12 Balkan nations. I'm curious to know if any of you guys watching are from the Balkans, so drop where you're watching from in the comments down below. I've gone with CFR Cluj from Romania and I've chucked them into League 1 just to spice things up a little to see how they deal with the Premier League. Now I present to you the ultimate Balkan rebuild challenge.
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
So of course, the very first thing that we do in these rebuilds is have a look at the team, and as we can see, we are starting off with a not so great team, but that doesn't mean it's going to remain like that. That's what signings are for, and of course we've also got to remove some of the players who are not from the Balkans. Thankfully for us, because we are managing a Romanian club, there aren't that many, as we can see here as we look through the bench. They're mainly from Romania. So the board have been generous enough to give us 5 million euros to start off with in Season 1, and with player sales that we still have to do, we can get that tally up quite a bit. And without wasting any time, our first signing in the summer of Season 1 is going to be Efe Akman from Galatasaray. This lad's becoming a bit of a channel legend considering how many times I've mentioned him here on the channel, as he's going to join us for a fee of 1.2 million euros, which I believe is a brilliant price for a young lad like him. He's currently 62 overall and he's going to slot right into our cam position as he gets a cheeky little upgrade when you position change him. And then we went and acquired the services of Croatian centre-back Mauro Perkovic. He set us back 1.5 million euros with a 20% sell-on clause, so we got to keep this guy at all costs. He's going to be going right into our team as he offers us an instant +3 to our defence. With a potential of 80, I can see this lad being around for a while, so picking him up in Season 1 was a good deal in my opinion. Now, I was also doing a little bit of work in behind the scenes and I managed to pull off the deal of a loan signing from Olympiacos, Hristos Stoichkov. We've also got him on a loan to buy for about 2 million euros, so if we're happy with the Greek man's performance, we can trigger that clause for only 2 mil and bring him to our squad permanently. Now, for some reason, just like the AC Milan rebuild, I'm having this problem where none of the players I put on the transfer list will sell. If you guys got any idea as to why this happens, please let me know in the comments, because I can't seem to figure it out. Which means that now we're going to line up like this with our Romanian goalkeeper Popa in goals at 66 overall. We got our new signing Perkovic there, 21 years of age and 69 overall, slotting right into the team, joining him with his 21-year-old centre-back partnership there of Ili there at 67 overall. Then our fullbacks, Kamora, who is 37, and Roka, who is 23 and needs to be sold, but I can't seem to do it. Then our midfield consists of another aging player here who goes by the name of Taxidis. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm not great with Greek names. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And we got Muzakatis there at 68. Akman, who's going to go up to 68 once his position change is done. And the attack, which is probably the best part of our team, is we got 22-year-old striker Muntinu up there at 70 overall. And then Pound and Diak on the wings. However, this lad's 38. He's probably going to be gone by the end of the season. Let's see if the boys can settle into life in League 1 and see if they can pull off a good result at the end of Season 1. So the first season is all over, and that sees Cluj finish in 5th position in League 1, so not a bad start to life here in England, as Birmingham City win the league on 99 points, which means we're going to be going to the playoffs. In the FA Cup, that was won by Newcastle as they defeated Liverpool 4-2 in the final. The Carabao Cup was won by Brighton 2-1 against Newcastle. So Newcastle winning one and losing one in terms of cup finals. In the playoffs, we couldn't do it as Rotherham United defeated Huddersfield 3-1 in the final. However, we did lose to the eventual winners, going out 4-2 on aggregate in the semis. In the Champions League, that was won by FC Bayern in an all-German final, 2-1 against Leverkusen. The Europa League was won by Fenerbahce 2-1 against United, and the Conference League was won by Chelsea 4-1 against Fiorentina. So in terms of our best performers this season, it looks like it was Meriton Korenica with 17 goals and 4 assists in Season 1 for the Kosovan left winger. Then we've got Montinu here coming in with 16 goals and 3 assists, and he's only 22 years of age, so I expect this guy to get into the 80s as we further progress down our rebuild. Adrian Pound with 12 goals and 10 assists, double digits in both departments for the 30-year-old is not too bad. However, he's going to be getting pretty old. And we have Cyprian Diak, who's going to be retiring, so 8 goals and 4 assists this season is a great send-off for the 39-year-old. Now that the boys have got some experience under their belt here in Season 1, can they go one step further in Season 2 and win promotion to the Championship? Let's find out. So there we go, we're talking about that loan to buy option for Christos Mouzakitis. We've gone and triggered that now. 2 mil is the fee that we paid, so nothing for the services of the Greek midfielder. Now he's going to be here on the permanent, so we saw great stuff from him last season. That's why we triggered the option to buy. He's now at a 71 overall, and I'm sure he's going to bring great quality to our midfield. So there we have it, Serbian talent Nedeljokovic is going to be joining the club on a loan deal. Of course, we managed to get a loan to buy. We've got him here for 2 years, and if we choose to trigger that, we're going to be paying 4.5 mil 2 years down the line, so we can have him for a while, see if he's any good, and then we've got him for a really cheap fee, so I'm happy with this deal. Now our next signing this season is one that I wanted to secure permanently, but he was unwilling to relocate. We picked up Noah Mikic on loan from Lyon, and to get around the relocation dilemma, we loaned him out, and we're activating his €3 million buy clause. He's going to be getting stuck in at our left back position, and at only 18 years of age and in the lower leagues of England, he's got plenty of time to grow and improve. Demir Tiknaz became the next man that we go ahead and sign, as we picked up the Turkish playmaker for a fee of 3.8 million euros. The former Besiktas man is only 20 years old and is currently at a 70 overall, and he's going to be able to replace our aging midfielder. Now that we only have 2.7 mil left in our account, I don't really think any more signings this window are possible. Which means this is how we're going to line up going into Season 2. Our goalkeeper from Season 1 was actually on loan, so he's gone. It's going to be Hendrik between the sticks this season at a 66 overall. Then our defense looks much better, as now we've got our new fullbacks there, Nedeljkovic and Mikic there at 70 and 66 respectively. Then our midfield has been upgraded with Tiknaz there going in at our right centre mid, and we made this guy here permanent, so he's going to be here to stay. F.A. Akman had a slow season last season, but I expect him to ramp up the numbers this season. Then our attack, Montino at 73, and then our wingers only at 67 and quite old, so next season I think they're going to be the point of focus to replace. We finished 5th in League 1 last season, but this season with the squad we have, I think first place and instant promotion is on the cards. So Season 2 sees the Balkan boys gain automatic promotion to the Championship, as we just see off Peterborough by 2 points, as they narrowly miss out on automatic promotion and are going to have to go through the playoffs. As for the FA Cup, Newcastle go on and win that again. I believe they won it last season, and they go and defeat Southampton 4-1. In the Carabao Cup, that was won by Liverpool 2-1 versus Chelsea. And in the Champions League, that was won by Inter 2-1 against Monaco. The Europa League was won by Chelsea 4-2 on penalties against Newcastle, and the Conference League was won by Brighton 2-1 against Malmo. Now Louis Montino had an incredible season, getting himself 33 goals and 9 assists to go with it, with an average rating of 7.61. This guy is on fire, and he's now at 77 overall, so I believe next season he should easily be able to crack the 80s. As for Karenica, I don't know how you say this guy's name, I'm not great with these Balkan names. He got 18 goals and 13 assists, so 31 goal contributions across 52 appearances is great for the 29-year-old. As for Juric, he got 7 and 3, and as we go further down here, the stats aren't great, so we're not going to really bother. We do have to sign this guy permanently, or I don't know if he's got one more season, I can't really remember. Because we got automatic promotion to the Championship, that means we should have a lot more money to work with, which means we should have more pull to bring in better players. So let's see how we go in Season 3. So I'll go and take a look at my transfer budget, thinking we're going to get, maybe 15 mil, something decent. But look at this, 7 million. What do they want me to do with that? 7 mil. I guess we're going to have to see what we can cook with this, but I don't expect much. And I did cook something with that 7 mil. However, we can say goodbye to any more signings this season, as we've spent 6.1 mil on the signature of Bosnian talent Esmir Bayraktarovic. The 21-year-old is going to go right into our right wing position, as our wingers are pushing their 30s and we want to rejuvenate our squad with young talent. So one signing later, and this is how we're going to line up going into Season 3. We keep our same goalkeeper Hendrik, as he did a great job last season, and we don't really have the funds to upgrade him as of right now. Nedeljkovic now is at a 74, so I'm sure he's very much Championship quality. As for the rest of our backline at 75, 72 and 69 respectively, Then we got our midfield, which is looking really good at the moment with our two centre mids above the rating of 75. Then Akman, who had an okay season, up to a 71. And our star man Muntinu now at a 77. Our new boy Bajraktarevic at 73. I hope I'm saying his name right because it is bloody long and we still need to get rid of this guy who's probably got one more good season in him. Let's see in season 3 if we can maybe push the playoffs. I'd be happy with that in our first season in the championship, but let's see how we go at the end of season 3. So season 3 is done and dusted, and it wasn't the most convincing season for the Balkan boys as they only managed to finish 17th in the championship, avoiding relegation by just 10 points, so not a great season, but I'm sure we'll come back stronger. In the FA Cup, that was won by Man United 1-0 versus underdogs Burnley, who made it to the final. In the Carabao Cup, Liverpool take down Arsenal 2-1. In the Champions League, that was won by PSG 2-0 against Bayern Munich. And in the Europa League, that sees Liverpool beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-2. And in the Conference League, West Ham defeat Stuttgart 3-2 on penalties. Although it wasn't a great season for our team, it was a great season individually for Louis Montinu, who got 23 goals and 10 assists. This guy, through thick and thin, will not stop scoring goals. Our Romanian striker, now 24 years of age at an 80 overall, getting an average rating of 7, so it's not too bad. For our marksman, Meriton Karenica with 12 goals and 3 assists in 51 appearances. I think it's going to be his last season in the starting 11 because we're going to have some more money next season, and this is one of the positions I'm looking to improve. Then we got our centre mid here, Hristos Stoichkov with 9 goals and 3 assists, and our new signing Esmir Bajraktarevic with 6 goals and 8 assists, so it's not a bad return from him in his first season at the club. Now that the boys have some experience under their belt playing in the championship, I reckon next season they can make a good push for promotion to the Premier League. So because the board absolutely hate us and don't want to give us any money, I've decided that maybe it's a good idea to not sign any players this season, but, big but, to invest this money into a youth academy so we can get some quality players from some of the nations where it's hard to find high potential players. And they say that video games are not educational. Well, while filming this video, I've actually now learnt that this guy's name apparently means a person from the mountains in Romanian. So if there's any Romanians watching, can you please confirm that one for me? So thanks to EA's expanded scouting network that we got in FC25, I managed to send out some scouts to Bulgaria, Kosovo and Montenegro to find us some new young talent to get in our team. And as you can see, our budget is now near to nothing, 6k. I don't know what we're really going to get with 6k, but I think that means it's time to sim to the end of the season. Now, as we adopted a different approach for Season 4, I expected things to be bad, and yeah, they were pretty bad. We finished 15th on 58 points. As we now change to a more youth academy focused approach this season, we didn't make any signings, so we couldn't really move further up the table. So lads, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, we'll get there one day. As for the FA Cup, that was won by Liverpool 2-1 against Brighton. The Carabao Cup was won by Man United as Tottenham lose yet another final.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
In the Champions League, that was won by Barca 2-1 against RB Leipzig. In the Europa League, that was won by Roma 2-1 versus Villarreal. And the Conference League was won by Newcastle 2-0 against Union Berlin. And our top scorer, who else could it be? Louis Montinu with 20 goals and 7 assists. The Romanian striker, he scores goals for fun. It's what he does, it's his job. I'm happy with his performance this season, and I know there's still a lot more to come from him. As for Karenica, he got 13 goals and 9 assists, averaging 6.77 overall this season. So I keep saying he's going to be the next one to get axed from the squad, but for now I don't even know how long he's going to be here. As for Hristos Stoichkov, he got 10 goals and 7 assists for the Greek centre mid, so a decent output from the 21-year-old. Then Powell got 9 goals and 2 assists from... I think he's coming off the bench. I don't think he's not in the starting 11, so he's definitely coming off the bench. And here are the youngsters that we also managed to get in our youth academy. We've sent him out on loan. This guy's 62, he's 65, and he's 66 overall. They're going to be coming back in a few seasons, hopefully good enough for the first team. As remember, we need one representative from each nation in the starting 11, which means no more nonsense. Let's go to Season 5. Now, as we transition into Season 5, I can officially announce that yes, we only have 6 million to spend, but we've actually gone ahead and made a signing. I went and picked up Slovenian right back Srđan Kuzmic, as now we can finally fill the void at the right back position, as Nedeljkovic wanted way too much money. Now next up, I've signed Lukas Petrov from the German 2nd Division. The Bulgarian cam is now in his prime at 27 years old, and he's going to go right into our starting 11, replacing F.A. Akman, who's been somewhat of a disappointment, not really taken off like I expected him to. What makes this deal even crazier is we picked him up with 12 months remaining on his contract, so we only paid 3 mil for the 75 rated men, which is insane bang for your buck. So those signings mean that our budget allocation is exhausted, nothing left in the bank, which means this is how we're going to line up with Hendrik in goals at 71. I know I've said that he's probably going to go, but this actually might be his last season, seeing he's the lowest rated player in the squad now. Our defense looking pretty good for the championship, however, it's been a downgrade from a few seasons ago as we lost our key man at right back, but Kuzmic is there to fill his shoes and I'm sure he'll be a great replacement. Then in our midfield, the best part of the team, we've got Muzakitis, Tiknaz, and our new signing Petkov there at cam at 75 overall. Then the attack, we've got Montenu at 83, Bajraktarevic at 80 overall, and then Koronika there at 73 overall. I like Hendrik, I keep saying it with them. This is going to be his last season, I'm sure. So let's see what these guys cook up in Season 5 and find out where they can finish in the championship. If you're watching this video, chances are you're enjoying the video, so make sure you smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss any of this sort of content. I upload about every 4 to 5 days and I'm sure you won't want to miss out on that. Now let's go back to the video, and Season 5 sees a very marginal improvement, going from 58 to 61 points. I think that deserves a round of applause for our Balkan boys. They managed to finish 14th with a +1 goal difference, so bringing in those 2 reinforcements did nothing. But I have a very good feeling that next season is the one where we finally get to the Premier League. In the FA Cup, that was won by Newcastle 4-2 on penalties against Arsenal. In the Carabao Cup, Chelsea win that 2-1 versus West Ham. In the Champions League, Man City defeat AC Milan 1-0 in the final. And in the Europa League, it looks like RB Leipzig have defeated Nice 2-1. And the Conference League was won by an underdog. Slavia Praha defeat Dortmund 2-1 in the final. And it's another season, and it's the same Louis Montenu as he gets himself 25 goals and 8 assists, our top scorer like usual. Get used to hearing this guy's name because he is going to be well into the 90s, I'm sure, later on down the track. We got Tiknaz here with 14 goals and 5 assists, adding productivity from our midfield, now at an 82 overall. We got Koronika here at 13 goals and 1 assist for the 73 rated man. Now 32 years of age, he's starting to really get on, and maybe he's going to start declining going into next season. Muzakitis here at an 83 overall with 5 and 5, a decent output from our Greek centre mid. Like I said previously, I have a very strong feeling about next season, that we are absolutely going to mop the floor with the league next season. I have a feeling it's going to happen. Stay tuned for Season 6, we'll be right there. So in Season 6, the board have finally given in and given us 10 mil to work with, so we're putting those resources to use by getting ourselves the signing of Turkish goalkeeper Bilal Bayezid. As we know in career mode, the shot stopper position is so important in simulating matches, and Hendrik has been letting us down a little. Continuing with the theme of signing Turkish players, I went and picked up forward Yusuf Barashi for only 4 million euros, which finally means we have a new left winger. The 26-year-old joins us now at 75 overall, so he's very much championship quality and he should help us score more goals in our push for promotion. So then this is how we're going to line up. We've got Bayezid, our new signing, in goals. Now he's replacing Hendrik, who is now on the bench. Then the back line stays the same as we've got our star man here, Perkovic, at an 82. Then you move into the midfield where we have the most balanced part of the team with 82, 76 and 83. And then we move up into the attack here. The talking point of the team, where we've got Montenu there at an 85, Bajraktarevic at an 83 and only 24 years of age, and our new signing Barashi there at left wing at 26 years of age, and he's going to take some time to convert into his new position. I'm going to come back to you guys in June when we're definitely promoted to the Premier League. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. I'll see you there. So there we go, Season 6 was exactly what I expected. It was a dominant display from the Balkan boys, and they win the championship, which means they're guaranteed promotion to the Premier League, winning it with 106 points, 17 clear of Nottingham Forest in second. In the FA Cup, that was won by Fulham, 3-1 against City. The Carabao Cup was won by West Ham as Spurs lose yet another cup final. In the Champions League, that was won by PSG as Leverkusen lose out 3-2 in the final. In the Europa League, Rangers defeat Porto Monaco 2-1, and in the Conference League, Union Berlin defeat Monaco 2-1. And it looks like we have a new top marksman this season, as Barashi went and scored 27 goals and got himself 3 assists while he's at it. So now dethroning Muntinu, who got 26 goals and 2 assists. He's now at an 87 overall. He still had an amazing season, but I just find it surprising how someone who is 11 ratings lower outdid you. Tiknaz with 17 goals and 10 assists from centre mid. He absolutely cooked and got himself an 84 overall, which is very much deserved. Then Muzakic is here with 9 and 9. Now at an 85, and Bajraktarevic having a quiet season for his overall. Now that the boys are going to the Premier League, that means we've got some more money to work with, and we should be able to make some more high profile signings, which should help us in our push for Europe next season. Now to kick off season 7, we've made our record signing with the arrival of Luka Vuskovic from Liverpool. The Croatian centre-back is going to be the third Croatian to join our backline, and now at 23 years old and 80 overall, it's the perfect time to snap him up, as he's going to give us a +4 at our centre-back position. Unfortunately, the board only gave us 37 mil, so this is the only signing that we could afford to make. Well, actually, I lied. I just went and did some free agent business after. I picked up Vladi here from Kosovo as our backup striker, and I picked up Jovanovic for free as well, who is 72 overall as a backup fullback, which means that we line up almost identical to last season. However, Vuskovic is the only new first team signing here. Everything else remains the same. However, the ratings are much higher, and I think are all pretty good to be able to take on the Premier League. I'm most excited to see how Montinu does, as he's now 87 overall. Can the boys make a push for Europe in their first season? I very much hope so, but I'm expecting around mid-table. Let's jump to June to see how the boys did. So as our 7th season marked our debut in the Premier League, that saw the Balkan boys finish in 12th place on 48 points with one of the worst goal differences in the league, so maybe we need to improve our defence a little bit more. In the FA Cup, that was won by West Ham 2-0 versus Villa. In the Carabao Cup, Villa go on and get their trophy as they defeat Brighton 4-2. In the Champions League, Villarreal defeat PSG in the final. In the Europa League, it was won by Sevilla 2-1 against Monaco, and the Conference League was won by Roma 3-1 versus Chelsea. And it's back to usual business for Montinu, as he gets 19 goals and 6 assists in 45 appearances, with 16 of those goals being in the Premier League, so a decent start to life in the top flight for the Romanian striker. For Barashi, he got himself 17 goals and 3 assists in 45 appearances, so he's been putting in good numbers since signing for the club. Bajraktarevic with a much better season, getting himself 11 goals and 11 assists, so 22 combined. And then Tiknaz here, now at an 86 overall. Decent productivity from our midfield. I think next season, as it's going to be our 2nd season in the Prem, we can make more bench signings, which I feel like is what was letting us down. Let's jump to season 8 and do some business. So for season 8, the main signing that we've gone and done is picked up the Serbian midfielder Ilic from Girona for a fee of 40 million euros, because his contract is expiring in 12 months. So we got him for a little bit of a discounted price. He's going to be slotting straight into our midfield, as Petkov isn't really cutting it anymore in the Premier League. So now we've got ourselves a new midfielder. Now, as well as signing Ilic, I also did some other business behind the scenes, like I sold Petkov, sold Bayezid, because I'm going to show you why in a sec, and I signed all these free agents here for the bench, just so we don't suck in terms of depth. Yep, that's right, I called up that goalkeeper that you saw a few seasons ago who was out on loan, and now he's at 78 overall, so he's ready to start in the Premier League now. As for the rest of the team, it remains pretty much all the same. I forgot to mention, our left back did leave us for free because he just wanted to leave. So now we've got Radu, the free agent signing, there at left back. Then as for the midfield, we've got Ilic, the new signing, and Muzakic now moves into the cam role, as our attack stays pretty much the exact same, as for just a couple of ratings higher. And Bajraktarevic decided to get a red card, so he's suspended, as we're actually 1 game into the season. Now that the boys have some Premier League experience under the belt from last season, can they go 1 step further and wrap up a European spot? Let's find out. And there we have it, lads. Season 8 is done and dusted, and our boys managed to get more draws than wins, while also finishing in the top 4 in what was a very close and tight battle for that final 4th position. However, we scraped into 3rd with about 5 teams separated by 3 points, as Man City win the league. As for the FA Cup, that was won by Burnley on penalties against City. In the Carabao Cup, City get their revenge and win a trophy 2-1 against Chelsea. In the Champions League, that was won by RB Leipzig in an all-German final 2-0 versus Bayern. And in the Europa League, it's another German team as Leverkusen get the better of Anderlecht 3-2. And in the Conference League, Rennes defeat Young Boys 1-0. I mean, now at this point, I'm running out of words to say about this guy. It's another season of Montino as our top scorer with 20 goals in the Premier League, 24 overall, grabbing himself 3 assists, now at a 91 overall. This guy soon might be in talks for the Ballon d'Or if we win the Champions League trophy. Barashi now 12 goals and 1 assist, which is actually fairly decent for an 81 rated player. So this guy has been doing absolute bits since joining the club, and I'm happy with this business. Bajraktarevic with 10 goals and 6 assists for the 89 rated winger. He's on the brink of cracking the 90s, which I think he'll do next season. And then Tignaz, as usual, he's adding goals from the midfield, as with Ilic as well, who's 31. We signed him quite old, but he still should be good for a few more seasons. Now we've got Champions League football next season. We're going to have a massive budget increase, so we can make a ton of signings, hopefully. And who knows how far we can go. Maybe we can go on and win the entire thing. Let's find out in Season 9. So here in Season 9, I'm just going to go through all these signings, because like if I did all these one by one, we're going to be here for about 6 business weeks. So we've signed Ernest Musi here, I don't know how you say his name, for 22.5 mil, because he's going to be our Albanian player that we still need to have in our squad. Then I've gone and picked up Elif Elmas, the former Napoli wonder kid, for 18.6 mil. He's going to be sitting on the bench. As for all these free agents here, because they're all for improving our depth, which essentially means that Musi over here is our only starting signing that we made, and he's going to be position changed to the left wing position, as currently he's got that exclamation mark. That'll get all fixed up halfway through the season once it's done, but other than that, everything else is pretty much the same apart from a few rating increases. Let's see how our Balkan lads fare in their first season in the Champions League and see if they can even go on to win it. Now that all 38 matches have been played, that means Season 9 is done and dusted, and our boys just missed out on the Premier League title by 2 points to Manchester City. In the FA Cup, that was won by Fulham as they beat Aston Villa 4-3 on pens. We go on to win the Carabao Cup as we defeated Fulham 3-2 in the final. In the Champions League, that was won by Leverkusen 2-1 versus Bayern Munich, as we didn't make it any further than the round of 16, getting knocked out by Lille. So quite a disappointing season, but at least we had something to show for it with a trophy. In the Europa League, that was won by Milan against FCSB, and in the Conference League, Parma defeat Copenhagen 3-2. Yep, you guessed it, Montino, once again our top scorer, 37 goals and 5 assists for the Romanian striker. He will not stop. For him, age is just a number, 30 years of age, and still putting the goals in the back of the net. Barashi there with 24 goals and 5 assists for the Turkish winger. Then Tignaz with 11 and 13, adding from our midfield. And Bajraktarevic getting suspended again. He needs to chill a little bit. 9 goals and 4 assists for the Bosnian right winger. Now that the boys have learned how the Champions League works, maybe next season we can go on to win the entire thing. Let's bring on Season X. And for Season 10, I just did a little bit of business. Signed Gvardiol for 70 mil, sold Mitrovic for 15, or 14 really. And I signed Benjamin Šeško for 75 mil just to sit on the bench. So this season marks a decade of simulating, and this is what we look like after 10 years. We are looking pretty good, just maybe apart from our right back, left back, and left wing. Bajraktarevic, he loves to be suspended, this lad, doesn't he? And also, how could I forget, I need to play this lad here from our youth academy because he is from Montenegro, and we need to have 11 Balkan nations represented in our starting 11. And there's also Shehu, yeah, alright, it's not looking too good for us, but there we go, that's what we're going to be rolling with, 11 different nations. Let's go to the end of the season and see how we are after 1 decade. So Season 10 ends with us just missing out on the Premier League once again, but this time by 1 point to West Ham United, and it's because we didn't win on the final game of the season as we drew with Liverpool 1-1. In the FA Cup, we smashed Brighton 4-0 to go and lift our next piece of silverware of the rebuild. Our success continues as we go on to win the Carabao Cup 2-1 against United. In the Champions League, we'll be taking on Bayern Munich to make this a potential treble season, just not the correct one. In the Europa League, Inter win 3-1 against Fulham, and in the Conference League, Girona take down Midtjylland 4-1. So it's the game that we've been building up for now for 10 years and we finally made it. It's the Champions League final and we're here at Old Trafford. So I guess you can call it a home game. We've got Montino as our captain because he's been there from the start and we want to see him lift the trophy as the skipper. We've got a fully fit, full sharpness team. We're going to quick sim it, auto replace the player, and we're going to hopefully win the Champions League, and it's on penalties. 4-3 against Bayern, so it was closer than we wanted and it came because of a late Šeško equalizer there and a Montino goal. Of course, our GOAT carried us all the way from day one to the Champions League final. We've done it, 11 different Balkan nations, 11 different players, one Champions League trophy. If you made it this far, comment Montino is the GOAT, just so I know who the legends are that made it to the end. And if you did go on to enjoy this one, make sure you smash the like button. It took me a bloody long time to make this video, so I would greatly appreciate it.
Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new, as we're pushing for 1k subs.
I've been Maestro of FIFA. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the very next one. Goodbye.